At 5:35, the car sits at the edge of the driveway with the engine off, still holding a little of the hospital in its air. The badge is there somewhere, the appointment folder, the tired shape of the workday. Traffic has moved on, but the body has not fully believed it yet. One hand rests near the seatbelt. The other stays around a glass of water, cool against the palm, simple enough to keep holding. Inside the house, the sounds are softer than they were this morning. A cabinet closes. A low voice passes through a room. Then even that begins to fade. For a few seconds, nothing asks to be answered. The evening does not fix anything. It only moves the noise a little farther away, enough for the car to feel almost like a quiet room, and the water like a small mercy. The first quiet does not arrive all at once. It comes in pieces. A car door from somewhere down the street. A garage door lowering 2 houses away. The last rush of tires on the road behind the subdivision. A dog barking once, then deciding there is nothing more to say. Inside the parked car, the hospital administrator stays still. Not asleep. Not ready. Just still. The driveway holds the car in that familiar half place between the world and the house. It is not work anymore, but it is not quite home yet either. The steering wheel still has the warmth of the drive in it. The seatbelt crosses the body the way the whole day has crossed it, firm and ordinary, something fastened before there was time to think. The glass of water sits in the cup holder. It is a strange little thing to have carried out of the appointment, then from the office, then through the traffic, as if the hand knew before the mind did. Not coffee. Not something to keep going. Just water, clear and plain, with a little ring of condensation touching the base of the glass. The hand reaches for it without hurry. The first sip is not dramatic. It does not restore the day. It does not make the shoulder loosen immediately or soften the memory of the phone calls, the hallway questions, the pages signed, the faces waiting outside office doors. It is only water moving through a tired throat. But even that is something. There are days when the body has been useful for so long that it feels less like a body and more like a place where requests are stored. A place where other people's urgency keeps arriving. Names. Times. Staffing concerns. A budget question. Someone's worried tone. Someone else trying to be polite while still needing an answer. And after the appointment, there had been that quieter kind of attention. The kind that asks for a person to sit across from another person and listen with a face that can stay calm. A face that does not show every small weariness underneath it. Some days ask for so many faces. The public face. The professional face. The steady face. The one that says yes, I understand. The one that says we will look into it. The one that finds the elevator button, checks the next message, remembers where the car is parked, and keeps moving. Now none of those faces are needed for a moment. The car is dim with late afternoon light. The windshield carries the pale reflection of the house, the shape of the porch, the soft edge of the roofline. The world outside the glass is still there, but it is farther away than it was 10 minutes ago. The traffic has finally left the body a little. Not completely. There is still a pulse of it in the jaw, in the knees, in the tired hands. The hands remember the steering wheel. They remember the phone. They remember the papers. They remember being useful. One hand rests on the seatbelt buckle. It does not press yet. That is the small mercy, maybe. Not the water only. Not the driveway only. Not even the house waiting nearby with its lamps and rooms and ordinary evening sounds. The mercy is that nothing has to happen at the exact second it could happen. The seatbelt can remain closed. The glass can be held. The administrator can sit in the parked car and not turn into another role right away. From inside the house, a household sound comes and goes. Maybe a cabinet. Maybe a drawer. Maybe the soft shift of someone walking from one room to another. It is not loud enough to demand anything. It is only enough to remind the person in the car that life has continued here too, quietly, with its own small motions. The sound fades. Then the car feels more like a room. Not a comfortable room, exactly. Not a room anyone would decorate or choose. But a room with boundaries. A room with a steering wheel, a dashboard, a glass of water, and a few minutes that have not yet been claimed. The evening light lies across the front seat. There is an old receipt near the console, folded once. A pen has rolled toward the passenger side. The appointment folder rests on top of a tote bag, the corner slightly bent from being carried too many places. None of it needs to be moved right now. Even the unfinished things can wait. That thought comes without words at first. It is felt more in the hand than in the mind. The hand around the glass. The thumb against the cool side. The slow release of one finger, then another, as if the body is checking whether it is safe to loosen anything. The noise has not disappeared. It has only moved farther away. And maybe that is why the quiet can be trusted. It does not pretend the day was small. It does not erase the hospital, the appointment, the traffic, the weight of being needed by people who may never know what it costs to remain steady. It simply opens a little space around all of it. The seatbelt clicks loose. Still, there is no movement toward the door. The strap slides back slowly, leaving a faint line across the shirt where it had been resting. The body notices that too. A small pressure gone. A little more room in the chest. Nothing grand. Nothing that would sound important if said out loud. But the glass is still there. The water is still cool. The driveway is quiet enough now to hear the car settle, tiny sounds in the engine, the faint tick of metal cooling after the drive. Somewhere, the house goes on being the house. Somewhere inside, evening is beginning in the ordinary way, with lights, with footsteps, with things left on counters, with someone maybe rinsing something in the sink. For this 1 minute, the person in the car does not have to enter it carrying the whole day in both hands. Only the glass. Only the breath. Only the quieter sound of being almost home. The house is close enough to see every small sign of evening, but far enough that the person in the car can still remain unnamed by it. The front window holds a soft square of light. The blinds are partly turned. There is a shape moving somewhere behind them, not clear enough to become a request. Just the passing shadow of home being home. A room quieting. A day changing hands. The administrator sits with the door still closed and watches the driveway settle into itself. The pavement has kept the warmth of the afternoon. A thin line of grass grows beside it, pressed low near the tires. The mailbox stands at the curb with its little metal flag down, as if even the mail has finished speaking for now. There is something ordinary about it that almost hurts. Not sharply. Only in the way the body sometimes feels a simple thing after too much noise. A glass. A driveway. A house that does not know every hallway walk today. A small pause before the next version of care begins. The glass of water waits in the hand again. It has become heavier since the car stopped. Or maybe the hand has only started to notice its own tiredness. At work, hands keep moving before they can ask what they are holding. They close doors. They answer calls. They sign forms. They hold a folder steady while someone speaks from a place of worry. They press elevator buttons. They reach for the phone before the second vibration ends. Hands can learn to be available. Then, later, when nothing is being asked of them, they do not always know how to rest. The glass is cool enough to give them something simple to understand. There is no message in it. No schedule. No reply needed. Only water, a rim, a little weight, a faint slickness where the condensation has gathered. The thumb moves once along the side. Not for any reason. The quiet in the car changes after the seatbelt comes loose. The body is still sitting in the same place, but some invisible rule has been lifted. The chest rises a little differently. The shoulders do not drop all the way, but they stop holding so high. Outside, a neighbor's car passes slowly, then turns the corner. Its sound gets smaller. Then smaller again. That is how the noise leaves. Not like a door slammed shut. Not like a clean ending. More like something walking down a hallway, still there, but no longer beside the ear. The appointment from earlier stays near the edges of the mind. A chair across from another chair. A voice lowered because the matter was personal. A question that did not have a neat answer. The careful nodding. The feeling of trying to be both human and official, both present and protected, both kind and useful. Some rooms at work ask people to become very steady. Even when the heart is tired. Even when the clock has moved past lunch without anyone noticing. Even when the body has already given its first strength away before the afternoon begins. Now the car holds none of that out loud. It holds only the after sound. The place inside a person where the day keeps echoing after the day itself has ended. The administrator looks toward the house. A light has come on in the room nearest the hallway. Not bright. Not formal. The kind of light that belongs to late afternoon, when people begin setting things down without ceremony. Shoes near the door. A bag on a chair. A cup beside the sink. A stack of mail opened only halfway. The home has its own unfinished things. They are waiting too. But from here, through the windshield, they look softer than they would from inside. They look like life, not accusation. A porch mat slightly crooked. A recycling bin near the side of the garage. A curtain that does not hang quite straight. The edge of a kitchen counter visible through the window for one moment when someone passes by. Nothing is perfect. Nothing needs to be. That small thought rests in the car for a while, unpolished and plain. The water touches the lips again. This sip is smaller. The person drinks because the glass is already there, because the throat is dry, because there are some forms of care so simple they can almost be missed. A car cooling. A body sitting. Water going down. The room inside the car becomes quieter than expected. The house sounds fade behind the glass. The road quiets. The phone, face down near the console, does not light up for these few seconds. Even the mind, which has been walking back through the hospital corridors without permission, slows near the driveway as if it recognizes where it is. Almost home. Not fully inside. Almost. There is a gentleness in that word. Almost does not ask for performance. Almost lets the person remain between things for a little longer. Between the administrator and the household voice. Between the appointment and the evening. Between being needed and being simply present in a parked car, with one hand around water and the other resting open on the lap. The hand looks older in this light. Not old, exactly. Just used. The skin a little dry near the knuckles. A faint mark from the steering wheel. A small stiffness from holding itself together through meetings, traffic, and the long bright halls where everybody seemed to be walking towards something urgent. Tired hands can be honest before the rest of a person is. They do not make speeches. They loosen. One finger at a time. The glass returns to the cup holder with a small sound. Not loud. Just enough to mark the moment. The base touches plastic. The water trembles once, then settles. There it is again. The room becoming quiet. Not because life has become easy. Not because the evening will ask nothing more. But because the noise has moved far enough away for a person to feel the small mercy of not rushing the next breath. The administrator stays seated. The door remains closed. The house waits in its ordinary light, and for now, that is enough. The quiet inside the car begins to show what the noise had been covering. Not all of it. Only a little. The sound of breathing. The soft shift of fabric when the body moves one shoulder. The faint tick from the dashboard. The small dryness at the back of the throat, noticed only because nothing louder is pressing over it now. The glass of water sits where it was placed, steady in the cup holder. A little light rests along its rim. For most of the day, water had been something passed by. A fountain near the elevators. A paper cup left beside a conference room phone. A bottle on someone else's desk. All those small chances to stop that did not quite become stops. The day kept opening another door before the person could finish walking through the last one. Hospitals have their own kind of noise. Not only alarms or carts or voices at the desk. Not only footsteps in the hallway, or the elevator arriving with its tired bell. There is also the noise of decisions waiting behind other decisions. The noise of people needing answers. The noise of being expected to know where to stand, what to say, which face to offer, and how much feeling to let through. That kind of noise follows a person home without making a sound. It sits in the shoulders. It stays under the jaw. It keeps the hand ready, even after the phone has gone quiet. The administrator looks down at the glass. The water is not full anymore. It is not empty either. It holds a middle amount, a small remaining part of something ordinary. There is a line on the inside where the water had been higher before, and for some reason, that line is easy to notice. The body notices small things first. Before gratitude has a name, before rest becomes possible, before the mind stops sorting the day into what was done and what was left undone, the body finds one simple thing and stays near it. A cool glass. A quiet car. A driveway that does not ask questions. Inside the house, the room beyond the front window has softened. The earlier sounds have thinned out. Maybe someone has moved farther back into the house. Maybe a television is on low. Maybe a drawer has closed and stayed closed. The details are not clear from here, and that is part of the relief. Not everything has to be known right away. The person in the car has known so much today. Too much, maybe. Names attached to needs. Problems attached to rooms. A calendar full of other people's urgency. The kind of information that does not feel heavy while it is being carried, because carrying it is part of the job. Only later does the weight become visible. Later, in a driveway. Later, with the seatbelt loose. Later, when the glass of water catches the last of the evening and makes it look gentler than the day had felt. The hand reaches for the water again, then pauses before lifting it. The fingers hover for half a second, as if even a simple movement deserves to be smaller now. Then the glass is taken up. The condensation has warmed a little. Still cool, but not cold. That too feels honest. Nothing stays exactly as it was. Even water changes in the hand. Even the day, still heavy in some places, is beginning to lose its edge. The hospital is still there. The appointment is still there. The drive is still there. But they are not pressed against the person in the same way. The noise has moved farther away for now. For now is enough. The sip is slow. There is no hurry in it, no plan attached to it. The water moves down, and the throat receives it. The body does not thank it in words. It only softens around the small fact of having been given something simple. A glass of water can be almost nothing. It can also be the first thing that does not need anything back. That is the mercy inside the ordinary room of the car. Not a large mercy. Not the kind anyone would write down or mention at dinner. Just a few square feet of dim air, the faint outline of the steering wheel, the house waiting beyond the windshield, and a person allowed to stay quiet before opening the door. The glass lowers again. The hand remains around it. There is a room inside this pause, and the room has become quiet enough to enter slowly. The house does not rush toward the car. It stays where it is. That may be why the person inside the driveway can look at it without feeling taken over by it. The rooms are close, but not yet around the shoulders. The evening is waiting, but not yet speaking in full sentences. There is still the windshield between the body and the next thing. A thin reflection of the dashboard lies across the glass. Beyond it, the front window holds a quiet rectangle of light. The kind that makes a house look almost still from the outside, even when there are dishes in the sink, a towel folded over a chair, a pair of shoes by the door, mail on the counter, and some small decision waiting in every room. The administrator knows those rooms. Not every sound in them, not at this exact minute, but the shape of them. The place where the floor creaks. The drawer that never closes smoothly. The corner of the kitchen where someone always leaves a cup. The chair that collects bags because nobody has quite decided where the bags belong. Home is not always quiet because it is empty. Sometimes it is quiet because the people inside it are tired too. That thought comes slowly, without blame. It does not ask to be solved. It only sits beside the glass of water and the loosened seatbelt, another plain thing in the car. The person looks down again. The glass has left a damp ring in the cup holder. A small circle, nothing more. The water has shifted with every breath, every small movement of the hand, every tiny adjustment of the body trying to remember it can be still. There is something kind about an object that does only one thing. The glass holds water. The water waits. No one in the car has to interpret it. No one has to answer it. No one has to become more patient, more grateful, more calm, more anything. The glass does not care whether the day was handled well. It does not know about the appointment, or the meeting that ran long, or the hallway where someone asked one more question while the administrator was already late. It is only there. And sometimes, only there is a great deal. The phone remains face down near the console. It has not moved, but it still seems to carry a kind of heat, the memory of messages, names, small emergencies that might return at any moment. Even silent, it belongs to the louder world. The glass belongs to this one. The quieter one. The one made of cooling metal, dim light, and a driveway holding a car as if holding a breath. Outside, evening keeps lowering itself over the street. Not dramatically. Just the slow blue-gray of a regular workday ending. A delivery truck passes at the far corner and turns away. Somewhere a trash bin lid bumps once, then settles. The sound does not enter the body the way noise did earlier. It arrives, then leaves. That is different. At the hospital, almost every sound had a direction. A reason. A need attached to it. A call light meant someone was waiting. A door opening meant someone was coming in. A name spoken near the desk meant attention had to shift. Even ordinary hallway sounds carried the possibility of being pulled into something. Here, the sounds can be only sounds. A car passing. A house breathing. Water moving slightly in the glass. The person in the driver's seat lets the head rest back for a moment. The ceiling of the car is close and plain. A faint mark near the visor. A shadow along the edge of the windshield. Things seen many times and almost never noticed. The body begins to understand the driveway. Not as a delay. As a small border. One side holds the day that needed the administrator. The other side holds the evening that may need another kind of presence. And here, in between, there is no title for a person. No role stitched onto the shirt. No sentence beginning with could you, or do you know, or before you go. Only breathing. Only the faint cooling of the engine. Only the glass of water, half finished now, still offering its plain weight to the hand. A small mercy can be this modest. It does not announce itself. It does not make the whole day gentle. It only gives the tired parts of a person one place to land without having to explain why they are tired. The hand lifts the glass again, but does not drink yet. It holds it near the chest. The room of the car has become quiet enough for that small movement to matter. The water trembles once. The fingers steady it without thinking. Tired hands still know how to be careful. Through the windshield, the house waits. For now, the noise is farther away. For now, the person can sit with the water and the fading light, and not be late to anything inside this 1 minute. The last light of the workday thins across the driveway. It does not disappear quickly. It loosens. A little from the roofline. A little from the windshield. A little from the hand wrapped around the glass. The evening is not dark yet, but it has started to lower its voice, the way a house does when people stop calling from room to room and begin moving more slowly. The hospital feels farther away now. Not gone. Just farther. There is still a trace of it in the appointment folder on the passenger seat. The corner of the folder is bent, and one paper has slipped slightly out of line with the others. Earlier, that would have mattered. Earlier, the hand might have straightened it without thinking, making one more small order out of one more small disorder. Now it can stay that way. The paper can rest crooked. The person in the car can rest crooked too, a little turned toward the window, shoulders not quite even, one foot still near the brake though the engine has been off for several minutes. The body has its own way of arriving late. It comes home after the car does. The glass of water is almost finished. A small amount remains at the bottom, catching a muted piece of evening. The glass is warmer now from being held. The cold has faded, but the weight is still there, and the hand still understands it. Some things do not need to stay cold to be kind. The administrator looks toward the front door and does not reach for the handle yet. There is a tenderness in not reaching. Not refusing home. Not resisting the evening. Only allowing the space before it. The pause has become its own narrow room, with the driveway underneath, the windshield ahead, and the last of the road noise moving off somewhere beyond the houses. A lawn mower starts faintly in the distance, then stops. A bird crosses the roofline. Someone inside the house moves past the window, and the light changes for half a second. It is such a small thing, the kind of thing that would vanish if looked at too directly. But in this quiet, it lands. Life is still happening. Gently. Without asking to be managed from the driver's seat. The person takes the last sip of water. It is not much. Barely enough to notice. But the throat receives it, and the hand lowers the glass slowly, with that carefulness tired hands have when they are done pretending not to be tired. The base touches the cup holder again. A quiet sound. A small ending. The room becomes still around it. There is a kind of gratitude that does not rise up like feeling. It does not brighten the chest or make the whole day seem better than it was. It does not explain the appointment, or soften every sharp edge, or turn exhaustion into something noble. It only stays nearby. Like water at the bottom of a glass. Like the driveway holding the car. Like the few seconds after a household sound fades, when a person realizes that nothing has to be answered before the next breath. The administrator closes the eyes for a moment. Not long. Just long enough for the darkness behind the eyelids to feel less like hiding and more like a place where the body can set down one thing. Maybe only the drive. Maybe only the last voice from the hallway. Maybe only the tightness that had been sitting beneath the ribs since noon. One thing is enough. The car gives a small cooling tick from somewhere near the engine. The sound is so ordinary it could almost be missed, but it marks the quiet in a way nothing else does. The machine has stopped working. It is still warm. It is allowed to cool slowly. The body understands that better than words. Outside, the driveway has become less a place of arrival and more a place of waiting without pressure. The house remains close. The evening remains open. The next movement will come soon enough. A hand on the door handle. A bag lifted from the passenger seat. The glass carried inside. Shoes on the mat. A voice saying something from another room. But not yet. For now, the hand rests near the empty glass. For now, the seatbelt is loose. For now, the noise has moved far enough away that the person can hear the small room inside the pause. It is not silence exactly. It is the sound of life not needing to be held so tightly. And maybe that is the mercy. Not a large mercy. Not one that changes the day. Only the ordinary kind that waits at the edge of a driveway, after traffic leaves the body, when a tired person sits in a parked car with an empty glass and feels, for one quiet minute, almost home. When the door finally opens, it opens softly. The driveway air comes in first, cooler than the car, carrying the faint smell of cut grass and warm pavement. The administrator reaches for the glass, now empty, and feels its plain weight in the hand. Nothing has been solved. The folder is still on the passenger seat. The phone is still there. The house still has its rooms, its sounds, its small waiting things. But the noise is not as close as it was. That is enough for this step. The person lifts the bag, closes the car door, and stands for a moment beside it. Through the front window, a light is on. Somewhere inside, the room has gone quiet again. The glass rests gently in one hand. And before walking in, there is one more breath, held by evening, held by home, held by nothing asking.